for me, this is me as Afam. I don't sit down at home and be like, yeah, I really hope Justin Bieber hates plastic in the sea because, that would really validate, I know it'll validate my need for people to
I see, for
understand
paper
that
straws.
the turtles
Yeah,
are
yeah,
dying.
yeah. The
Like,
turtles
I
are
don't sit at
dying.
home waiting. I don't sit at
That's
home
funny.
waiting for him to do that.
They love na they respect Kaukijo na deal na mheshi Mseka mimi sipendi stress Ipak ni loud na deni kubless Itakukosmita kucollaborate Mimse walk am kuelevate Ipak ni unique ni ngumu kuiget Najua magwangi wanaweza relate I'm mplainer wanna get keep Ja bypass you get my tips Mpoa na dai kufurisha malip Ante kunua head ingine legit Liquid lean and making it sick Kama ni forene washa na big Nchapia mpoa kalia his stick.
What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 182 of the 30% podcast. You are joined today by your hosts, a fine African man, aka Afamefuna, and Sam, the Jedediah Are. And we formed this podcast to talk about the Kenyan music industry from the perspective of two music producers. At the end of the day, all we want to see is Kenyan artists get paid more and played more. And we love producing this amazing podcast for you guys. So we hope you guys are good. And Sam, what's up?
Here, what's going on? How are you doing?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much is going on in the life of a fine African man. But how about yourself, bro?
All right. Repeat it 5 times. Please, say it one more time. Repeat it again.
Since you asked, I mean, a fine African man like myself can't complain about how life is going. How about you, bro?
I'm all right. Hold up in the house. Hold up in the house because there's protests on the streets. If you hear fire, if you hear things exploding, explosives exploding in the background, I apologize. Guys they are incensed. So, but it's life. Apart from that, not much happening. Just working on music. I've been working on a song for like 2 years. I finally got around to finishing it, and it sounds really
working on a song for 2 years.
Yeah. Recorded it in, and I was hyped about it when I was recording it. And then
how and why?
I don't know. I think, well, it's partly demitis because you work on a song, and then I really like the demo. And the last part, I just felt like it was missing something in terms of the production. But I just kept listening to the song, and then 1 year turns into 2 years. And then this past week, I was just like, okay, you know what? At this point, the artist is probably not taking me seriously. Because I checked I checked our messages, and almost a year ago, it was like, yo, please send me the demo. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool, I'll send it. And I didn't send it. So now that I'm done, I'm really happy about it. It sounds very good. Yeah, so
2 years though.
I'm hoping.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, is it? We usually have songs that stay. You don't have. I have songs that are like 3 years old that I need to finish still.
I mean, I have songs that that are unreleased for that long. But me, if it's unreleased for that long, I'm not touching it again. Like okay.
Really?
To be honest, I mean, I kind of did that with Boutros, but in general, nah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this one, it's a good song, and it's an artist who I really, really like. So I was like, and we've been talking, like, every time we meet in different places, and it's like, oh, we need to finish songs. And I keep saying, yes, we need to finish them, and we never finish them. So I just like locked in one night and worked on the production. It actually didn't take much long. That's the problem with procrastination. You think procrastination would take you forever, but then it's not. I finished it in like a night, and the next day, then I mixed it the next day, and came out properly. So I hope he likes it. It's an R&B artist. But yeah, let's see. Hopefully we can release that soon. I'm trying to empty the vault, bro. Get all of these joints out.
Yeah.
What have you been working on?
You have to empty the vault, man.
Empty the vault.
Yeah, I mean, last week was actually a dub, man. I was working on I had two sessions. I've been really in the studio heavy with Genesis. So we've been working on music. Him and Corbs were in, so we were working on that. And so yeah, that was a cool session. The next day was something special, man. I for the first time was in the studio with Joe and Jockey. And yeah, that was great. Like, you know how usually, like, if you've never really been in studio with someone or you've never really even met them before, you can kind of like wonder how that's going to go. But like the chemistry was there, man. Like it just worked, and we came up with a song that I'm so excited about. So I've just been working on it the whole weekend. Usually when I record music, I don't typically mix and master immediately. Sometimes I let that stuff simmer, right? But for this one, I was just like, I'm already mixing and mastering it, like, because I'm just like, I really believe in this song heavy.
What's exciting about it? Is it the artist?
One, it's something itself? That she doesn't. Because it's like new, like, and she doesn't really like make. She mostly makes like R&B jams. This is more like because it's on an Afro beat, and I don't know. It's just more pop. It's more mainstream-y sounding, and so for that reason, I'm just like so excited. Also, I've never really made like a pop mainstream like kind of song with like a female artist and stuff like that. So I'm just excited about the novelty of me having done that. And yeah, and the reason why I was even inspired, bro, have you listened to the Longo like snippet?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Isn't it such a banger? It's a hit.
It sounds like a good song. It sounds like a very good song.
I'm staking my everything on this song being a hit, provided, of course, that the verses are as good as the hit, as the hook. Sorry.
Yeah. No, but it sounds good. It's that classic, soft, smooth weekend R&B.
I love it so much.
Yeah, man. Lots of shakers in there. Everything is
shakers,
just so
Kwanzaa.
It's so good. Man. And then of course the hook from Xenia. That hook sounds like Xenia wrote it. You can tell when Xenia has written something. Honestly, she has her. We were talking about signatures. I think was it last week or the week before. And Xenia has her signature sound in terms of just how she writes and the melodies she goes to.
So funnily enough, I've been talking to people and they're like, and they're saying about this collaboration, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh my God, this is so unexpected!" Like for Xenia and We Are Nubia to be working. Why is there like such a lot of like? There's so much like not consternation, but like surprise about this being a thing.
I think people feel that it's not so much We Are Nubia as it is Xenia. I think people feel like Xenia doesn't do, which I don't know if that's right though, but I feel like people feel like she doesn't do a lot with Kenyan artists, especially maybe the female ones, because she's been on a couple of other she's worked with Soul Generation, she's worked with Watenda Willie. Yeah, but I feel like maybe people feel like she hasn't done many collaborations with like the female artists for whatever reason. And so that's why like it's like, oh okay. Because even me, when I started, I was like, okay, this three in the studio, let me see what it sounds like. But yeah, it's sounding good. It's sounding good. Now
so do you want to have
the full song?
So do you want to have maybe this is a bit of a I don't know how progressive this conversation is, but do you think Xenia needs this collaboration more than We Are Nubia do? Or do you think it's the opposite way? I know that's a crazy type of conversation to have.
This angle of conversation is always annoying to have. No. I don't think...
Or who do you think benefit? Or do you think it's just like a mutually beneficial...
In different ways.
Collaboration?
In different ways. I feel like and I'm against looking at it as, okay, these two are doing music together. Who is going to benefit and what are they benefiting from in terms of, like, I know that's our job as as people who are observers of the industry and
As
just
critic, I can't believe I'm a critic.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
people
yeah.
think we're critics. I'm like, what? Oh,
Exactly.
ew.
I know that's partly sort of that's the backpack that we have to carry around. That's such a weird phrase
Unfortunately.
to say. Yeah, but then I don't want to see it as that, because at some point I like music just to remain music. And these are like really good we are Nubia just in terms of their trajectory and sort of how they're rising and climbing and the music that they're releasing. And Xenia has been established for a while. I think people don't see her as established because she has not done much collaborations with or more like her music is considered by a lot of people to be niche. She
It
hasn't done
is
like a lot of like
100%,
radio
yeah.
friendly songs in terms of like Kenyan radio. And for some reason they have not played that. I'm sure they've played some, but then it's not like a popular, not like how they play like our Tendawili or like any of the like a Bridget Blue or something like that, right? So I think it's an interesting marriage between the both of them. And just looking, I mean, I like snippets, but I want to see what the final
You wanna see the
final song.
final product.
Yeah. Of course, they went to run.
I'm just
so.
me. All I'm telling you is, if the verses match the hook, then we're on for a hit song. For me personally, I think this is a really good move, specifically on Xenia's side, because I've always felt like she's always been at a crossroads, because as much as she lives here and stuff like that, well, I think she's also out there like in LA and stuff like that a lot, right? And she collaborates with people from out there a lot as well, right? And so I feel like I can only speculate, but I feel like there's been a pull for her to like, okay, so am I trying to establish myself in Kenya, or am I trying to establish myself out here, or am I going to just live in this liminal space and do both, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes doing both becomes really difficult, because then sometimes you can be a jack of all trades and a master of none. And so you're not fully like integrated or fully accepted in either. Like either market would like both markets would appreciate you and say that you're a great artist, but none will appreciate you to the degree that you need to be. And for me, I feel like if she's deciding, okay, I want to focus on being a great R&B act in Kenya, right? Then bro, full steam ahead. Like collabs like this is what's gonna like really like make her penetrate the market.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially because like I feel like we are Nubia and their fan base. Okay, their fan base is not, it's not wildly different from like Watenda Willy, but it is different in the sense that there's more people who would like Xenia's music. They just haven't been exposed to it, I feel like. You know what I mean? And I'm excited. I'm excited, and I really need, I don't know why I'm saying need, but I need other people to see that Xenia is a great artist. And it's so frustrating when you walk around and you see Kenyan artists just not rating Xenia as an artist, but she's hard. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way we should still be saying Xenia is niche.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, with this conversation though, something just popped into my head. Like, why is the collaboration always her coming over to this side? Because Xenia makes really good music on her own. Why don't we see any of the other artists like collaborating with her on her sound rather than the other way around?
I mean, but that's something we can't know. Maybe there've been talks about that. Maybe they just haven't happened. We could only talk by speculating from the outside looking in. Me, all I know is as much as I don't want her to dilute her sound and just like start collaborating with everyone, I do want her to like up the collaborations where it makes sense. Like this just makes so much sense in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and for me, this is just going to do so much like for the culture. Like, I'm just excited about
For the
Nongo
culture.
Nongo, bro. For the culture,
is about to
man.
eat.
We're about to eat,
Oh
bro.
man, yeah. Maybe we're going to have another D&D on our hands. Maybe even bigger. We'll see. Because they tend to do well with that kind of thing with Nubia. So, and of course, like I was saying earlier, they went to run, and it's run on the production. At least it sounds
They
like
run
it.
to run.
Or rather, the snippet was probably in his studio. It looked like it was his studio. Well, run was
They
on
run
the
to
wall.
run because he's on a run.
Yes, pun. Run pun.
And if you don't stop me,
it's a run
I'll
pun.
just
No,
run
stop.
away with...
No, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I think we've reached the limit. We've reached the limit.
Speaking of us running into things, yes, Sam, I've not paid attention to your advice for me to stop.
And I don't.
We
think
are
will.
running to. I never will. So guys, we are running to a different phase of this podcast, an exciting one actually. Sam and I have some amazing news. Sam, do you want to tell the people this amazing
Don't do that, because every
news?
time you do that, then I say what it is, then it sounds like I'm doing it overwhelming. But it's because you hype things up entirely too much. Like, it's great news. But
It's hype-worthy news, man. What do you mean?
oh my goodness. First off, shout out to every single person who's listened to this podcast.
Shout out to you guys.
From episode 1, I think is a stretch. But then along the way, we've gathered a whole bunch of people who have engaged with us and just listened and, been part of what we're trying to do here. So really appreciate you guys. As you know, podcasts are not about audio anymore. Unfortunately, they were only about audio back in the pandemic. And then now your podcasts are more video podcasts. And so we've been talking about it really and planning. And so we're currently going to be moving, not currently, we're going to be moving into video, same podcast, same format, the podcast that you have come to know and love. It's just that you'll be able to see us doing it.
Oh my god, we're gonna be seen. Sam, people are going to see our faces and
I don't know how I feel about that, man.
It's kind of crazy.
I'm just
though.
private. Like, I don't like. Anyway, it's for the love of the game, I guess.
For the love of the game.
Yeah, but we'll be going into podcast. The podcast will be on YouTube. Uploading them on YouTube. I don't know. Has Spotify figured out their video yet? Do they still not have that?
So they haven't. As regards East Africa. So we'll see. They'll probably bring that to East Africa at some point, but for now, there's no video on Spotify.
Yeah, so starting next week, we shall be on video. So go to YouTube. I mean, it's still going to be audio. Like, you're still going to be able to listen to this on Spotify and wherever you listen to your audio podcasts.
And to be honest, there's a few people who listen to the podcast because we post on YouTube. So there's a few people who already listen to the audio podcast on YouTube. So yeah, we're just gonna have video now. So get ready for a new.
Do I have to get a new fit every week? Like, can I just wear the same?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to wear a black t-shirt and sweatpants or jeans every week. Like, do I have to now pay attention to what I'm wearing?
Clearly you do, man. Because
so, bro, this is I just want to can we just talk? Anyway, it's fine. We'll figure that out. Listen, hey guys, if I wear the same black, it's not the same black t-shirt. Obviously, I have a whole bunch of black t-shirts. But if
look
I
at you already copying
please
for your fits,
it's not the same
man.
t-shirt that I'm wearing.
Why are you copying please for your fits, bro? Like.
It's just now you have to right now I can be in socks. You know how guys do Zoom meetings when they're doing an interview and they throw on a
but they're just in their boxers.
Yeah.
They're wearing a suit at the top but boxers at the bottom.
Exactly. Business at the top and party at the bottom.
Party. Okay, that's crazy.
That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Attached to this announcement, we are going to update our release schedule to kind of accommodate for the fact that we are moving into video. So instead of the Wednesday drops, you guys can anticipate a Thursday drop instead. We'll still be dropping weekly, but we will be dropping the episodes on Thursday as opposed to Wednesday. So apologies for any inconveniences if that's inconveniencing to someone, but
I'm sure it is. People get
I'm sure
get
there's somebody out
inconvenienced
there.
by the smallest and weirdest things.
Bro!
I'm sure.
Do you know the smallest inconvenience that I've seen that I think people are just too much? People are hating on Spotify for the logo change. Like, and it's just to commemorate
I did see
whatever.
that.
Like, people are acting like this is the hugest inconvenience
Oh
in
my
history
God.
of
And
inconveniences.
On design Twitter, it's sad because people have the whole of the design world has been hating on the fact that more logos are moving towards the minimalistic flat two-color designs. And now that there's some life into it, there's a bit of a roundness. It's a disco ball. Now all of a sudden it's like hate. People are never going to be satisfied, unfortunately.
But anyway, we all knew though that this was just like a temporary thing because apps do this, like apps like Reddit and stuff like that. They do this where it's like
They change
they'll
logos for
have
like
like
events
a
and things
yeah.
like that.
So I don't know why people are acting like it's the end of the world, man. Anyway, back to the primary topic. Yeah, we just wanted to say thank you guys for supporting us this long. I know it's been audio only. We've been true to what podcasts are about, but now we are moving to video. We're not selling out, Sam. What are you saying? What are you
We're
saying?
selling out. We're selling out. And we are hoping to push do a lot more social media. I know we've been kind of muted. I think that's just the kind of people we are. But then we're hoping to do a lot more social media
Social muted.
social media push.
Socially muted.
Yeah. And so we don't really ask for much, but then in terms of just like growing, engagement is like a big thing. And so and we've had a lot of engagement from people just in the DMs and stuff like that. But then we'd also just ask in terms of like sharing, and it's important for the algorithms. Unfortunately, we are slaves to the algorithm to be able to get into more people's faces, because we do believe that what we're doing here is of use. And so engagement, talk about it. Of course, it's video now, so a lot of people would rather watch video than listen to podcasts, which I still don't understand. But
yeah.
So if you find it interesting, you find it useful, again, just share it. Engage also with us. Comments in all the different platforms, TikTok, YouTube, and whatever it is, wherever we post. Let's just continue to build and grow and see if some of these conversations can spark a little bit of change in our music industry.
I mean, and the last thing I guess to say is like it being video, it'll be easier to at least have a little bit more of have a better online presence, because there'll be video. And attached to that, I think we are going to do. Yes, we are going to do way more interviews now that we are going to be on video. I know we do interviews. We're very, very picky with like interviews and stuff like that, but we will interview a little bit more. And so, yeah, you guys could look forward to
bring you some behind the scenes in the industry and stuff that's going on. So yeah, definitely look forward to it.
Definitely. Hiya, let's talk about this lovely industry of ours that we are always talking about. I guess I never thought I'd see the day when people turn their back on BN.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. All it takes is for you to do something that the masses don't like, and it doesn't matter how many years you've been a hero for. All of that is wiped away, and the streets have been in uproar.
The streets have been in a tiff or a tizzy. Because so as you guys know, last week there was the Africa Forward Summit, which was, it was meant to be a kind of meeting between the French nation and ours.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the summit was supposed to bring together states, businesses, young people, artists, and diasporas, because the relationship between France and Africa cannot merely be declared. It must be built on the ground by innovators, entrepreneurs and creatives.
Very true.
And so basically they had a dinner, and that's where that's where people began being a bit uncomfortable because BN was there and there was a picture and a video of him interacting with Macron, or President Macron. And then he did the performance, and it's not only him. I believe Costa Ojwang was also performing. But the thing that sparked a lot of debate on Twitter, for example, was the outfit that BN wore, because he wore something that's akin to what Mobutu Sese Seko, who was the president of DRC, something that he wore. And judging by the fact that he is viewed widely as having been a dictator, it didn't go down very well with people. And so the internet has been in an uproar, people taking sides, notably Nviri, the storyteller, who, everyone, if you don't pay too much attention to what's happening online, you'd think, wait, I thought they loved each other. Wasn't he in Soul Generation? If you don't pay too much attention, this would be come as a shock to you, but they apparently hate each other.
The past couple of years, they have been. Well, I don't know so much about what it has been from BN's side, but from Viri's side, there's been a lot of criticism and anti in terms of some of the things that BN supports. This is obviously it feels very weird to talk about this. Why are we talking about this? But these are two artists who are really, at least have had some sort of standing, or still have some sort of standing in the industry. So I think it's rather important. The news is about them unfollowing each other. Come on, guys. We don't really care. We don't care.
But among the things that Nviri said was, he was just saying, it's funny how speaking against harmful agendas in our communities, matters like alcoholism and exploitative brand culture, was once scoffed at and treated like doing too much. But now, suddenly smiling, shaking hands and breaking bread with Macron is supposed to be called growth, diplomacy, or representation. So what exactly do you stand for when the cameras are off, calling into question BN's morality and his character? And it seemed very targeted against BN and how he's been moving ever since this Africa Forward Summit started. And okay, I'm just gonna read a few more quotes and then maybe we can give our opinions. So Chiki, BN's long-term partner, made a statement and she said, you cannot ask African artists to take Africa to the world and then criticize them for entering the rooms where the world is shaped. It is the responsibility of politicians to fight for fair policy. It is the responsibility of artists to carry our stories across borders. That's very important, and we'll need to talk about that. And then she continues to say, sitting at global tables does not make us less African. It is part of making sure Africa is seen, heard, and impossible to ignore. I'll read two more quotes. So BN himself also quoted about this, and he said, or talked about this, he said on his Twitter, I can sit at a table with global leaders and still remain fully African, fully critical, and fully myself. Presence is not submission. The last quote I'll say is from KRG The Don, who also had something to say. And he says, Kenyans, punguzeni wivu. BN is just spreading his wings with art. He has not become president of any corrupt government. Interacting or performing for sufferers don't make anyone holy, okay? Pia, interacting or performing for corrupt politicians does not change art in any way. Kazi ni kazi. So And then he says shida ya watu ni wivu too. So these are very differing like sides of the table to be on.
Yeah.
And I guess it sparks the debate in terms of what responsibility artists have when it comes to these social issues. And then I guess also I'd love to talk about like the reaction that this has sparked from the general public. So where do you fall? Are you pro BN being an artist, using his platform to be in these spaces? Or do you think BN is a sellout, Sam? Tell us.
Very black and white, right? It has to be one of those two sides. I think I'm nestled somewhere in the beginning.
Always black and white.
I'm nestled somewhere in the middle. I think in the middle there's understanding. It's very interesting. First off, I want to know, right? And this is a bit tongue in cheek, but who do we like and who don't we like? Okay, fine. I didn't know that France.
Okay.
Well, I know France have a bad reputation all over Africa. And I didn't know the severity of that until recently. So who do we go to for? All right, this person is cool and this person is not cool, or this person is really bad and severe and we shouldn't interact with them at all. This one, all right, cool. We can give him a little bit of a pass. How do we go about that?
So. One, it would be led by the who is doing these collaborations. And
what do you mean by that? Collaborations in terms of what?
Like this collaboration with France, which they kept on, in their press releases, they kept on using the term multilateralism. Oh my God. Like the amount of PR is crazy. But
interns have to do
our president historically has not been known to do things for the benefit of our people, right? And so this being something that's led by his government is also very suspicious. But then again, like you mentioned, France has been known to be in Africa to take advantage of the resources that we have in our continent, right? And that's why a lot of countries have been kicking them out from their institutions and their country. And them coming to us because they've been kicked out from a bunch of these countries is a bit of a red flag. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
it's a huge red flag. And the fact that we are so well...
I'll take you. Open
exactly.
arms.
And the fact that we are so welcoming and we are so just ready for them to come. Because, they among all these words they have in their PR or amidst all these words they have in their PR and stuff like that, there's a long-term play here, you know what I mean? And it's always about resources at the end of the day, or something even more nefarious that I haven't thought about. And that's what people are concerned about, And also, because you're performing for these guys and going for dinners with them, you're playing into the whole PR situation that the government is trying to like roll out or whatever. And so it's like, wait, but we thought you were against this government. And so that's why a lot of people feel or seem disillusioned by BN just doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah.
So no,
okay.
we don't. To answer your question, we don't like Europeans when they come to the country.
That's great.
And then also
the whole of Europe.
Also,
too.
there's also a bit of like discomfort with. Well, let's not make this a political podcast, but like,
unfortunately, it is.
The entire China thing that's been going on has also been like a touchy subject. Not that we're peddling any like whatever, but it's just like because they also have their own Belt and Roads initiative, which they do across Africa, and a lot of people see that as exploitative.
Sounds better. I don't think it's right, but it sounds better. Exploitive.
Yeah,
it exploits.
It exploits. It exploits. because you know what happens is a lot of these governments get into so much debt because they can't really afford to pay for these belts and roads, and then the countries who finance these things, they are like, all right, since you guys can't pay, we are going to do X and X. And then usually that just ends up being really. Anyway, aside from all that, that's how people feel. And they're just feeling let down by BN. So, Sam, you were telling us about how you think he's not or is a sellout. So tell us.
I wasn't doing any of that. I wasn't doing any of that. I was sitting on the fence. So yeah, so I mean that was just a side mission, right? The main issue is for me that I think for me that when I was thinking about this and having a conversation with somebody else on this, the main issue is, or rather there's a couple of issues. One is how we view celebrities and the expectations we place on them. And number two is not very popular, but I do think what Chiki said has a little bit of credence to it. We're looking at BN specifically. BN is an artist who, he's an artist, and something I feel like is important to say before all of this is we've seen BN protest. We've seen BN fight for like go out on the streets and protest. We've seen BN do. He hasn't shied away from taking the people's quote unquote people's side in terms of like in political strife. You know, so it's not like he's doing this. Like he's never protested before. He's never been part of a cause. That the majority of people would be on. And then just popped out all of a sudden in at this event. So I feel like people have very short memories, and they really don't trust. And it's very almost disingenuous because it's like it's a society of what have you done for me lately. And so because an artist all of a sudden is on a different position than you would be at that specific time, even though you know that you guys have been working along together this whole time, that all of a sudden now everything he's done in the past is completely rubbish and he's not. That's the outrage that I don't get. I find that very weird. Do you, is that like a valid critique?
Yeah, it's valid. It's valid. It's like a short attention span. Like, but then sometimes actions that you do can erase every good thing that you did in the past. But you're saying that this action doesn't do that, though.
Yeah, I mean, again, going back to sort of what people on his team have said, like Chiki, this is an artist who has really fought for the chance to put Kenya on the global stage. And like Chiki was saying, maybe some people might disagree with her, but then this could be a big opportunity in terms of getting that now. You might not be looking at it from that perspective because we're looking at it from the consumer's perspective, not the creator's perspective, right? And so there's probably a lot more that goes into him being able to do some of these things. I mean, we've seen BN and many different artists, not just him, but the many different artists being stopped from performing in other countries because of visa issues and all that stuff. And so some of these things could help further our artists in going there. But I do understand the other side. I'm not saying I'm totally on this side. I do understand the fact that sometimes, being as an artist, if you have to be for the people all the time, or it's kind of like it's or you have to be for the cause all the time, or it will be difficult for people to accept you. It's like checkpoints. You have to pass every single checkpoint, kind of deal.
So I was gonna say, like, in response to Chiki's comment, there's somebody who commented. So actually, I'm on Nairobi Gossip Club. There's somebody who commented in response to that. He's called Mudashi, I think that's, or Mudaki. I don't know how to pronounce it. And he says, Chiki makes a fair point, but the room matters here. Macron didn't come to Nairobi out of love for Africa. He's here because France is losing Africa. The Sahel kicked them out. The CFA franc is being questioned. Franc Afrique is crumbling. This summit is partly France trying to reset a relationship that Africans on the ground have already decided they're done with. So yes, artists should be at the global tables, but when your presence becomes the warm cultural backdrop for someone else's PR recovery tour, then that's worth pausing on. The question isn't whether our artists belong in those rooms, it's who walks away with the better story. That's interesting.
What do you
Because
think?
who does walk away with the better story from that? Because I do feel like the PR. Because even Macron posted like a whole compilation of him, like jogging with Kipchoge or like the dinner or even cooking with Ombachi. Which by the way, Ombachi hasn't posted the video yet, which is kind of funny, but. Yeah, like they're really going heavy on this PR spin. To look like they're, in good stead with Africa and stuff like that. So it does look like they're coming out of this like way better. But yeah, what did you want to ask?
But they're going to come out of that way better, though. It's a whole presidency. it's a whole country and a government behind them, versus an artist who we definitely know the government might not always be behind. I wanted just to find out, because from this line and based on what Chiki has said and what what's the guy whose comment you just read?
Mudashi.
What do you think of Bien's last line? Presence is not compliance. Is that what he said? Presence is not. What did he say?
He says presence is not submission.
Submission. Yeah. What do you think of that in line of everything that's going on?
I think he has a point. But I think people were saying, let's see. Let me see. Yes, I was actually looking for a specific comment. So somebody called samurai.ko says, presence is not submission, yes, but presence without resistance becomes endorsement. Does resistance look like that though? I guess he's saying, does resistance look like you going to dinner with this guy or performing and wearing Mobutu Sese Seko's fit? And that's valid. That's actually valid, to be honest. What type of resistance are you showing there? Like, you could say presence is not submission as much as you can, but the optics don't look good, to be honest. It does look very submissive when you're there parading yourself in the clothes of a known dictator, performing for these guys and giving the government, our government, which everybody has been very uncomfortable about, like some good PR to have. And it's like, nah, you know what I mean? So it's like, I guess people want to see, people are very results based. So where is the non-submission that people are supposedly supposed to be seeing? You know what I mean? And people are not seeing that.
Is that what you're saying? Because I'm interested in what you're
So me, my opinion is, I actually agree with a lot of what people are saying. This isn't a good look. I think Bien and his team should have vetted this opportunity a little bit more than they did. Because this is genuinely, like, just even right now, like, there's protests going on and stuff like that, right? He's not aligning himself with the government, but you're giving them something to use for the whatever agenda it is that they have. You know what I mean? And so for me, I think the people are right. Now, I do have a little bit of a criticism with but this is even it's not even necessarily against what's happening right now with BN, but it's just cancel culture in general. Sometimes I get frustrated with people because okay, so actually what made me have these thoughts was Nviri. Because and this could be, I could be totally wrong, but I felt as though this is just how it came across to me. I felt as though Nviri took this stance against what Bien was doing to further the narrative that he has going on with Bien, or which is they've been opposed to each other in a lot of different things. Like it all started with like the whole like banning alcohol, or not banning it, but like raising the age to 21 years of age and stuff like that.
And restricting
and then
alcohol
and
from being
Viri
promoted in music and
was
whatnot.
pro that whole thing. Yeah, exactly. And Bien was like, this really affects the creative economy, and they've had opposing like opinions on things. And I feel like Nviri has used this as an opportunity to now like apply more pressure against Bien. These are my words only, and I could be completely wrong. Maybe in his heart of hearts, Nviri feels very strongly against against the French government and what they're coming to do in our country. Maybe he does, but for me, it seemed like he jumped on this opportunity to kind of like add more heat to this beef they have going on. So for me, my main like thing, and it's just an observation that I don't like, is I feel like a lot of times people on the internet will cancel people or point out how they're making mistakes or doing the wrong thing and this and that, because a lot of people have the need to feel morally superior, especially towards like celebrities, because for some reason, and maybe you can tell us more about this because I think it's a psychological thing, like there's a need for people to humble celebrities or bring them down to a level and be like, yo, I'm morally superior to you because I didn't like do all these things. Whole time I feel like people like the people behind the screens typing all these hate things and starting to diss Chicky and like taking this opportunity to now like send hate tweets towards Chicky or whatever, weaponize whatever is going on. Whole time you'll be doing like some really nasty things as human beings, but then because nobody knows you, nobody knows the decisions you're making in your life, you act all morally superior and start being like, oh yeah, you're horrible for sitting at the table with this guy. Whole time, if you were in his position, you might make the same decision.
And that's what I was just about to say.
So for me, that's what I don't like.
If an email comes from the GOK and says, hey, yo, whatever your name is, we need you to be present. You don't need to do anything. We need to be present. And this amount is floated in your face. I think low-key, some people won't even let anyone know. They'll go dye their hair. They'll go shave their beard. They'll go put on those glasses that people put on, not because their eyes are bad, but because it looks cool, and wear different clothing and go and show up and just sit down nicely and they'll collect that check. I think people are hypocrites. There's a lot of, look, now I'm getting fired up for absolutely no reason. There's a lot of people who I saw when we were having the main Mandamanos for last year. Can I call them the main Mandamanos? I don't think you can call them the main Mandamanos. But then there's a lot of people, both in the creative world and outside, who were outside there protesting and shouting, must go, and, just acting like the fight is the fight to that. But then behind closed doors, like, we know some of those people are shady. We know some of those artists are stealing from other artists. We know it's all people do this for moral superiority. That's all. That's it. I want to be able to tell somebody who has done more than me something. That's what I have against them. And so that
brings them down a level.
It's a very big problem we have with celebrity culture. Like, why I get it. Celebrities are often and when you look at a celebrity and you place them on a pedestal, they're often an amplified. They have the potential of amplifying your views and how you feel about the world and all of that. And so then what we do is now we then stake every single thing we have in and right and wrong on what they do. And that's absolutely ridiculous. I find it's not fair to celebrities, because these guys are just living their lives. They're liable to make bad decisions and good decisions. Like, they can go about their life in the way you can't control their lives, because you've staked a moral responsibility on them that they haven't agreed to.
Also for me, as much as I do agree with the fact that celebrities do have a responsibility just because of the reach that they have, I think as an individual, if you're staking all this moral
Wait.
like weight on celebrities and what they say and do, I think that's where you go wrong. If you're looking to celebrities to be the voices of reason, and peddle the ideologies that you hold dear, then that's where you go wrong. I don't expect Justin Bieber or whoever to
Justin Bieber.
to be but I don't expect him to, like, for me, this is me as Afam. I don't sit down at home and be like, I really hope Justin Bieber hates plastic in the sea, because, like, that would really validate, I know it'll validate my need for people to understand that the turtles are dying.
Yeah. The turtles
I
are
don't
dying.
sit at home waiting. I don't sit at home
funny.
waiting for him to do that, because, like, whether he does or not, like, these celebrities
And that's
are
the
people,
thing.
and most of the time, they popped off in music or whatever it is you follow them for. It doesn't mean that they are necessarily adept at knowing what social, like, the correct social politics to align with. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily smart people.
That's the whole
You know
thing
what I
of
mean? They
putting them
could
on
be
a pedestal.
completely horrible. Don't put celebrities in a pedestal in the first place, because that's where you just go
Yeah,
wrong.
and the thing about that,
know.
if you don't put a celebrity on a pedestal, one, when they fail or they don't align with your views specifically, you won't be disappointed. That's our problem. I think people are disappointment maxing is what we are doing in our lives.
Disappointment maxing.
That's really what guys are doing. They're just looking for any and everything to go rage about on Twitter, and complain about, so that they can, for whatever reason they want to do it. And sometimes those reasons are good, but then you let celebrities be celebrities. I understand. With this specific situation, I understand. There's the fight.
No,
is
I
the
get
fight,
it.
And for some people, like, the fight is really important. But if the fight is as important as you, it's two sides of a coin, right? If the fight is as important as you say it is, or as it means to you, number one, you would be more concerned about how you're presenting it and how you're presenting yourself within the fight than other celebrities. But then also, I do understand that if you really feel strongly about this, you want the people who you care about and the people who you think can carry that messages and can get into rooms that you can't get into, to carry, to be on your side and not compromise, quote unquote, compromise in the way that you think compromising is. So I understand both sides. I just feel like, for me on this one, I'm just like, all right, cool, man. Like, we do need to, first, the individuals need to be fully committed to the fight. Not some people only bring these things up when a celebrity is involved. Some of these people have never tweeted the word France in their lives, but all of a sudden now we're experts. And that's kind of what I don't like. It's like, all right, I get it.
And
I get it, but
also it detracts from the main conversation, which is, we don't want France here taking advantage of our resources and our people, right? These type of things become side conversations that overshadow the main conversation, right? Yeah, sure. Like me, I completely agree with the fact that BN, this is just really bad. This is just really bad PR-wise, and they could have done it differently. As much as I do agree with that, it shouldn't be the highlight of this whole situation, because at the end of the day, the main thing is that we have a president who's essentially selling our country. That's the main conversation we should be having. That's the main conversation we should be having, not whether this one celebrity we have is a sellout or not. It's unfortunate that he made the decision to align himself with what's going on, but it's not really what I want to focus on as a Kenyan anyway. But yeah, anyway. But then also, and the last.
Just to add,
Oh,
sorry,
sorry,
just
go
to add, I do think, again, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I do think there's more attached to the. We only see the one decision, and the one decision is yes, I'm going to perform at this event. I do think that there's when you look at an artist and you look at his team and you look at everything, I do think that they possibly have more nuance within that decision that probably tilts it one way or the other. We have absolutely no. We're not privy to that
At the end of the
all.
day, what you're saying is life is not black and white. Like there's
Yeah.
so many things
There's a lot
that
of nuance in between
that
there.
happen in between.
Yeah.
But and for me, the last thing I'd say is like, the whole kazi ni kazi like ideology that people have right now. It's very sad. It's very sad, but it comes from a system that's very broken. And the fact that people don't have access to finances and people are just trying to make it out the mud. For real. You know what I mean? I can't believe I just said the word make it out the mud like I'm Lil Durk. Like, what's wrong with me? Anyway.
You have the dreadlocks.
But like the unfortunate thing is a lot of Kenyans would make compromising decisions because of how badly our economy is doing. You know what I mean? And that's very unfortunate and very sad, to be honest. But anyway, prayers to all that are involved, I guess.
Including the government. Prayers for them.
No,
for them, not to them.
Well,
We're not praying
actually,
to them. We need to pray for them.
We can still pray for them. We can still pray that they become better people. We still can. We can afford them that kindness.
Look at us affording the government kindness.
No, are we part of the people who are trying to act morally superior now? Like, are we part of the problem?
Some introspection at the end of the podcast.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. Listen.
Anyway,
let's talk about music instead of introspection. Unless you want to talk about introspective music.
I always want to talk about introspection, but let's do music.
What did you listen to?
What did I listen to? Speaking on Viri, he was on a song with DTX, Saru, and Mandy, a song called One by One. DTX has been creeping around doing a lot more. I'm seeing and hearing his name and his tag a lot more, so shout out to him. Nina Ogot was on a project called the Mango Pop. It's a compilation. Some of it was okay. I don't know. It just showed up out of nowhere. The album art is very, very clip arty. We're the album art guys, so I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that, but then it's very clip arty. Silas Piper released a project called Solus. I think it's got 4 songs on it. Featuring Verona and Blocker Beats. Verona is his guitar, in case you didn't know. So that was that. Icon released Flux. Icon is an artist who we think is pretty good. He released Flux, and he's been releasing a lot more. I think in the past couple of years he released 1 or 2 songs the whole year. But then recently he's been dropping quite a bit more. So shout out to him for that. LA Vibes dropped Rita. This song sounds like it's him and Alexis on the beat. I'm pretty sure you've had Alexis on the beat tag somewhere. So and they did a project called Cinnamon, Bola and Bye Bye that featured Kim Life. I think it was dropped in 2024. So this song Rita sounds like the song Bye Bye on that previous project, which I mean it's the same producer and the same collaborator, so it makes sense. So he released that. And what else? Oh yeah, Wahoo recorded Sweet Love. Sweet Love was released early 2000s, if I'm not wrong. And so I don't know what's the extent of the re-recording that they did, but it's very interesting seeing an artist do this. Go back to Wahoo Sweet Love is one.
Her husband just did that recently, so yeah. I guess
maybe it was
they have a thing going on.
Thing. Yeah. Shut. I hope that's not disrespectful. I don't mean to disrespect. It's really good. If she recorded it, she definitely sounds she still sounds good. So shout out to her. Nesmburu and Port released a Winja. This one I really enjoyed. I think it was very, very good. I like this brand of Afro House. Of course, it's a common brand of Afro House, but I like this brand of Afro House. So shout out to Nesmburu. I think Idaziz also dropped as well. Shout out to him. Yeah, what did you listen to?
All right. So I listened to So Bad by TG.BLK. So she's I mean, it's more stuff that's in the lane that we've come to expect from TG. I believe there should be visuals attached to this that are coming soon. So I was looking on her YouTube and I couldn't see anything yet. So I'm hoping we'll see that soon. There was Wazee Wakikumbuka Vijana Husumbuka by Flyer. That was really nice. I don't know why whenever I come out of listening to Flyer's music, even if the subject matter might be sad, which I'm not saying this is what it was, you just come out of it feeling a little bit uplifted. It's so uplifting. Like his music is just so uplifting and sunny. So yeah, I don't know why, but like shout out to Flyer. I listened to Flux by Iken. So y'all check that out as well. So yeah, I listened to a bunch of projects as well. The first project I went to, obviously, was Street Mathematics by Jovv because yeah, I have a production credit there. Because Chap Harakati, and actually that's one of his ad libs. Anyway, look at you playing 4D chess, bro. Like people don't even know the 4D chess you be playing on this podcast.
Sometimes I
anyway,
don't know 4D chess like right there.
Yeah, Street Mathematics, solid project. My favorite song on there is Gwangi Freestyle, but it's just it's good hearing all the producers come in with their like, their signature sounds, because you see this Cap there, like Cap has like 3 songs, and then 19 has the intro and 19 has his signature sound. For me though, bro, whenever I listen to a song produced by Lemario is my guy, bro. I respect Lemario heavy. Well, I respect all the producers, but like Lemario is like crazy. Like that guy needs to be talked about a little bit more in the conversation of dope producers in our country. So shout out to Jovie. This is a dope project. I'm waiting for visuals. Hopefully there's more visuals we're gonna see. Street Mathematics out now. And then I also listened to, we didn't talk about this last week, but Anasa by Sabiwu, which is actually, that's actually this is gonna sound crazy, but it's my artwork of the week. I don't know why, but like I really like the artwork, man. Like it's
quirky is what it is. It's
yeah, and it's just funny. Like certain things about it is funny. Like where there's a club at the back and it's just called The Club, and I was just laughing. Like I was just laughing at that. I don't know why I found that so funny. Just looking at different aspects of that artwork, and I'm just like, bro, it's. I don't know. There's something about
this is equivalent of Drake's kid doing the For All the Dogs cover.
For All the Dogs, yeah.
I'm just going to draw a bunch of stuff and it's going to pass.
It reminds me of being young and like, you know how we all drew like Ferraris and Lamborghinis and stuff like that. Yeah.
Completely out of proportion. It's interesting.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, but like, and then the people in the club, like, bro, it's just such a funny, like, it's a memorable piece of art. And then him running away, and then you see the line. Do you see the line like leading to the club? Like, that reminds me of all the old storybooks we used to read as kids. Like, there was always a line like when they're running away, like Babu. Like, you remember the comic Babu on the newspaper. Like, anyway. This is just a hilarious piece of art, but I actually like it, and it's my artwork of the week. But I listened to this project. I love the production, man. Sabiwu is very talented because bro produces a lot of his own stuff.
Yeah,
and it's just interesting to see him with a little bit with like mainstream names like Domani and Nelly the Goon. So y'all check out Anasa, and then the other project I listened to was Lusuku Tapes by Kalibwani. A lot of collaborations here are with Agent Mugumbe, aka Lukorito. So y'all check that out. The beat selections on this project are really dope. And bro was spitting, man. This was like if you like rap music, especially like the more backpack type rap, like this is for you. Well, I wouldn't say it's like backpack, but like it's backpack adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
good, it's dope.
shout out to Kali. Yeah, shout out to Kalibwani. And then, bro, this was the weekend of projects, man. So I listened to a project by somebody that I didn't really know too much about. But she came as a pleasant surprise. So I didn't know too much about Sabbiti. And so I didn't know what to expect when I clicked play. But I was just really impressed. I think this is a really, really impressive way to debut yourself, at least in my ears, because I'd never heard her music before. But she released a project called Heart on My Sleeve, H.O.M.S. And this is really, really good work. It's R&B. And if you guys haven't listened to her, I think Sabbiti is definitely going to be somebody who we listen to and hear about for a long time to come. And she has a collaboration with Uaya. Uaya is always tapped in, by the way. He's always tapped in. The steamy. The stimulus. Hey, did you see the stimulus package that, Drake gave another artist called Molly Santana over the weekend? You know, he featured a new. She's a relatively new artist called Molly Santana.
She has such an interesting sound, honestly. I didn't like the second, the Run to Atlanta, the second half of the song. Like, I didn't really like that, but then I found it
I
intriguing.
love it, but that's me.
It was intriguing.
I love it, but that's me. But anyway, the steamy package, imagine, she had like 500,000. First of all, you know me, I feel very angry because anyway, let me not get distracted. She had 500,000 monthly listeners, bro. She jumped to 7.9 million.
Yeah,
like monthly listeners. That's
the steamy. That's the steamy
that's
right
the
there.
steamy. That's the steamy. Anyway, back to Sabbiti. Yeah. So you guys definitely check this out. I would say my favorite songs would be the intro to Heart on My Sleeve and Show It, which I believe came out last year, but still, it's one of my favorite songs on this project. If you're trying to listen to like some, dope R&B, please. And the instrumentals were amazing. So I want to also give a shout out to WOLVE, who is the mixing, recording, and mastering engineer, as well as the producer. So shout out to WOLVE. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. What did you think of the project?
It was good. I mean, like I said, bro, new artists just are popping out every single day. I'm not mad at it, honestly, especially if they have some quality to them, like Sabbiti does.
Yeah.
So like, it was a good project, very good, just very R&B-ish in the sound. I'd like to see her do a lot more. But yeah, she sounded good. It sounds like I sound like I've given a radio review, but no, I mean, I don't have much to say about it. I just think it sounded good.
Yeah, okay. Well, and because I think this is a really strong EP, our pick of the week is going to come from this project. So y'all are about to listen to Intro to Heart on My Sleeve by Sabbiti.
Gave you my heart, ran back to you with it. You tore it apart, thought that I could handle it. Then taught my crown, got me breaking down. Talk of the town, who's a fool now? Wore my heart on my sleeve, that's how I believe you took advantage, tore me down effortlessly. Guess that's how I didn't see you took me for granted. restless. How I didn't see you, took me for granted. Oh, hey, you there. Oh, hey, you there. Oh, hey, you there. Oh, hey there. Oh, hey, you there. Oh, hey, you
You just listened to Intro to Heart on My Sleeve by Sabbiti. So shout out to Sabbiti and WOLVE for this project. Y'all definitely go support. It'll definitely go a long way, seeing as she's a newer artist. That's episode 182 down the can.
That's a fact.
Shout out to you guys for listening to this audio edition of the 30% podcast, which will have video pretty soon. So we're excited about that. I hope you guys are excited about that too. If you're new here, I usually like to end the podcast with the 3 C's, which is a mantra that I devised for myself. And I decided to share it on this platform in the hopes that it helps somebody. The first one being confidence. Always be confident in your work, despite how you feel internally. Radiate that confidence, because people will eat that up and they'll support your music based on you being confident in it. Number 2, consistency, which is better than talent. The people who last in this industry, specifically the music industry, it's not even the talented people, it's the people who are consistent. Trust me, people who are talented, or rather talent only takes you so far. So don't worry if you don't feel like you're that talented at making music or being creative. That's not what's going to make you successful. What's going to make you successful is your work ethic and how frequently you're putting out projects and the fact that you're outworking the rest of the field around you. And the last C is craft. Always work on your craft. Every day, work on something new. Figure out something new in your line. Like for me, for example, today I was watching an 8-minute tutorial on limiting and how to use limiters properly, because sometimes limiting feels like a mythical process for me anyway. And so I was just watching a tutorial about that, because sometimes you just need to like learn how to do things better, and those 5 minutes might help make my masters or my mixes way better than they are. So always work on your craft. Sam.
Yeah.
Talk to us at the end of this
Talk
audio-only
to us.
broadcast.
Oh, I don't have no C's for you, man. See you later. See you in the next episode.
Unfortunately, you've used that one before, man.
Oh.
You've used that one before.
Well.
Listen, now that we're going to video, actually, you can use them now, because we might be opened up to a different audience.
What do you mean
maybe.
I've used that one before? You've used the 3 C's in every single episode. I'm allowed to
that's
use
different.
something more than
That's-
it's different.
Oh my!
All right.
I didn't know this
Okay.
was so touchy. I didn't know this was touchy, guys.
I don't know why you're
sorry. I didn't know
attacking
I
me.
touched
You've
on,
used more than one. Who are you to say? I can use whatever I want to use. It's my
Damn.
platform too.
Okay, guy. Okay, I'm sorry, man.
Goodness.
Well, we'll see. If I don't know if this podcast will make it to episode 183 at
Not
this
with
rate.
that attitude, it won't. Yeah, let me be, bro. Thank you for the 3
Aight.
C's. I learned a lot from them as well.
That sounded so fake. That sounded so fake. Oh my! You know what?
Oh, man.
I am glad we are moving to video, because I want to see
No,
you
because that
look
edit
so
is going to. I'm going to
appreciative
have an
of my
edit note that
3Cs.
whenever the 3 C's are going on, the camera should be trained on you.
No. We want to see Sam nodding his head in appreciation and saying, act like this is the first time you're hearing them. Thank you.
All right, man. Listen, guys, tune in next week.
We'll catch
to
you
see how
guys
that
next
unfolds.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.